Hi, hello. We are meeting after a long time. So today's video is regarding the common consumer complaints arising in India and how you can resolve them. So see, basically India is the fastest growing consumer markets in the world, and according to the National Consumer Helpline, over 2 lakh consumer complaints were filed last year. About 2 lakh consumer complaints were officially reported and filed last year. So when does a consumer when does a consumer officially files a complaint? When the consumer is cheated, disappointed, harassed by the goods and services for which he has paid, and this happens because of the defective goods, deficient services, unfair trade practices and overcharging. The Consumer Protection Act 2019 has recognized these as legitimate grounds for seeking redressal. Now we will be discussing the common consumer complaints, grievances, resolution. Okay, the telecom troubles. First one is the telecom trouble, because India is the second largest telecom market in the world. Now grievances include here are mostly the poor network coverage issues, call drops, despite of high internet plans, slow internet speed, and then like there is spam, unsolicited promotional calls and spam SMS, hidden charges, excessive charges, and then difficulty in porting numbers between providers. Now the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India receives thousands of complaints every month, that is the TRAI. Now the resolution over here is that you can also complain. First of all, you have to complain with the telecom company directly through the customer care, and if it is unresolved, then escalate to the nodal officer or appellate officer, and lastly you can also file a complaint online, that is at the TRI online portal. Now the second issue is the e-commerce exasperation, that is with the growth of online boom in the online shopping, the consumer complaints regarding the online shopping has risen up to 500% in shot up to 500% in last 5 years. Now the common complaints over here are delayed deliveries, damaged products, wrong deliveries, misleading product description, refund and return hassles. So first over here you can resolve the issue by directly raising the complaint at the platform, that is appropriate platform, that is Amazon, Flipkart, whatever, from wherever you have ordered the product. Okay, the second thing is that if it is unresolved, then you can escalate to the appropriate grievance redressal cell. And the third one is that you can, after that you can contact to the National Consumer Help, use National Consumer Helpline, or you can approach the Consumer Forum. Now the third consumer complaint is the banking blunders, that is according to the RBI. Last year there were more than 20,000 banking fraud cases involving rupees 21 crores. Now this happens because of unauthorized transaction and online fraud, hidden charges on loans, accounts and credit cards, and delay in loan approvals, then ATM transaction failure without refunds, and the poor grievance redressal in digital banking. Now when this happens, you have to file a complaint at your bank, that is a written complaint, and if it is unresolved within 30 days, then you have to, now when you have filed a complaint with the bank and if it is unresolved, then you have to file the complaint with the banking ombudsman scheme within 30 days under RBI. And then last option is that you can also file a complaint at the cybercrime portal online, that is cybercrime.gov.in. Now the fourth common consumer complaint in India is regarding the electricity and water issues, that is the inflated electricity bills, unscheduled power cuts, poor water supply and contamination, and delayed new connection. Now when you have these issues, the grievances are, you can directly you have to approach the local electricity board, municipal water department, and if it is unresolved, then escalate to the water supply board ombudsman and state electricity regulatory commission. Now the fifth common issue, consumer complaint in India, is another common consumer complaint is regarding the travel and aviation issues. That is the flight cancellation, delayed flights, then lost baggage, then hidden booking charges, refund issues. Now when you have these complaints, you have to directly file a complaint with the airline, and if it is unresolved, then you have to escalate to the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, and lastly you can directly contact the consumer forum or consumer court. Now the another common consumer complaint in India is regarding the real estate and housing disputes. That is, the complaints over here are delayed projects, non-delivery, the dispute over possession, poor construction quality, hidden charges and excessive charges. Okay, and the solution over here is that you can file a complaint with the RERA, that is the Real Estate Regulatory Authority. And the second one is that you can file complaint with the consumer forum for the compensation. And now the another common consumer complaint in India is regarding the healthcare and insurance companies. That is, the complaint is the overcharging in the hospital, denial in the cashless insurance, and there is delay in the claim settlement and policy misleading by agents. Now when these complaints arise, you have to file a complaint with the insurance company grievance cell, then insurance ombudsman, and lastly you can file a complaint with the Clinical Establishment Act. Then there is the common consumer complaint in India is regarding the common consumer complaints that arises in India is regarding the retail and food sector, that is overcharging over the MRP, then adulterated and expired food products, and restaurants leaving service charges without the consent. And appropriate grievances over here are that you have to file a complaint with the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, and lastly you can use National Consumer Helpline. You can approach the consumer forum. Now whenever you एक्चुअली હું તમને એવું સમજાવવા માંગુ છું કે તમે કોઈ પણ પ્રોડક્ટ કે કોઈ પણ સર્વિસીસ બાય કરો, સેલ કરો. For the safer side, what you have to do is whenever you buy the product, sell the product, services, firstly that you have to keep the invoices, receipts, emails, call logs, everything, SMS as evidence. Okay, second thing is that you have to approach whenever you find a problem, immediately you have to approach the customer care of the company, and if it is unresolved, then you have to approach the nodal officer or the grievance redressal officer of the appropriate company. And then lastly, them chhatan પણ if your complaint is unresolved, when your complaint yet is unresolved, you have to file complaint with the appropriate regulatory authorities. That is, for the banking blunders, file complaint with RBI; for the real estate issues, file complaint with RERA; for the telecom issues, file complaint with TRAI. Okay, now lastly you can file complaint at the consumer court, that is at the district court, when your claims are up to rupees 1 crore, at state commission when your claims are up to rupees 10 crores, at national commission when your claims are above rupees 10 crores. Now the online redressal platforms are, that is, you have to use the National Consumer Helpline, and that is another online redressal platform over here is consumer helpline.gov.in. Then there is e-Dakhil portal and Shikayat Hi. And lastly I would suggest that before buying, selling the goods and services, what one should do is that if you are buying something online, then please do read all the reviews and the ratings on the online platform. Then never share your OTP pin with any stranger or password. Then read all the terms and conditions before buying and selling the goods and services, and always have all written documents as evidence when you buy something through the agent, and never pay large sums without official receipts. So આજનું હતું the common consumer complaints that are arising in India. and these are the grievances. So you can approach the consumer court, consumer forum, there is national consumer helpline. So આજનું આ વિડીયો આટલું મેં તમને જણાવ્યું છે. ઓકે, બાય. પ્લીઝ ડુ ટેક કેર. બાય.